Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. My name is KJ Hamus, and I'm really excited to be bringing this practice to you this evening. I'm not sure about where you're at with your day today, but I have to be honest, mine has been a little rough. Just discovered a lovely water feature in our home due to a leaking washing machine. So, that's been a lot of fun. And in the midst of all that, I'm just like, that was not the expectation for my day. It was not what I had planned. And it kind of just sends the mind into a loop. So I'm hoping today's practice brings you, if you're having that kind of day, that kind of just discovered a new water feature in your home kind of day, brings you a little bit of balance, and maybe it just brings you a little bit of sunshine and joy into your life. The goal of tonight's practice, besides balance, is really just to help us still the mind, to let go of that which is not serving us, so that maybe we can think a little bit more clearly and really be able to come into ourselves, find what we need today. So as you start to settle into your mat, decide, what's your yoga today? What is most important for you out of your practice? You are the authority, not only in your body, but what you get out of this, what your intention is. So please take that. I'm just a guide, and I'm excited that you're here to breathe and move with me. So with that said, we're going to get started in a comfortable seat. Feel free to sit up on a block or on a blanket or on a book or a pillow. And I'm just going to ring the bell so we can start to draw inward. So as you're ready, close the eyes or find a soft point for the gaze. Namaste and welcome. As we start to draw inward, drawing our senses inward, drawing our focus inward, let's just take a couple of deep, slow breaths in through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. Deep, slow breath in through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. One final time right here, full breath in. And a full breath out. Orienting yourself in space and time. Space being here, and the time being now. As you start to settle in, take a moment to honor practitioners and teachers who've come before, that come from this ancient practice that began in India so many years ago. Thanking them for helping us be able to find this practice of liberation and freedom. And taking a moment here to honor yourself and knowing what brought you to your practice tonight. Honor that call. Send gratitude toward yourself for coming to your mat. As we begin to even draw the senses inward more, notice where you're gripping in the body. Are you gripping the hands on the knees? Are you gripping the feet? Are you even gripping the hips to feel that you need to support yourself as you sit on the ground? And if that's the case, just take a moment, maybe work out some of that tension wherever it's at, move a little bit, and then come back to stillness once again. I don't know about you, but during those first 3 initial breaths, a lot of emotion just started to come up for me. And so I think that's where my personal practice is at, is just figuring out what all of that is, trying to balance that out and work through that. Maybe even just create more space so it can be more free and come forward. So what was calling to you in those 3 breaths? And maybe nothing as of yet, but as you start to move into the deeper parts of the practice, just Keep an inner ear out for that. Keep an inner eye or ear out to notice. Become aware, just drawing the focus to the low belly, of the rise of the inhale and the fall of the exhale. What does the breath tell you about the activity of the inner body? What does the breath tell you about the activity, the movement of the mind? So stemming from that in-breath as it moves down to the belly, how is the energy moving? So think of our energy channels like little rivers in all of us. And we've got thousands upon thousands of little rivers that the energy is moving through. And so as you attune yourself to that energy, is it moving freely and smoothly? Or do you feel like it's getting stuck, like a dam was built on that river and it doesn't have anywhere to go? Or does it feel a little bit jittery maybe? There's a lot of extra movement involved. Are the waves really rapid in this river? Or is it calm and still? And one is not better than the other. We just want to notice and observe so we can use that knowledge as we move in our practice. And as we start to feel that energy, begin to notice the flow, track the flow of energy from the root all the way up to the crown of the head, into the mind. How does that energy movement translate to the fluctuations of the mind? How is the mind moving? So are you carrying a lot of thoughts with you right now? Are these thoughts bringing up anything that's translating in the heart space or any other parts of the body? Or is the brain and everything gravitating towards stillness? No matter where we are on this path, we want to get to a point of being able to really tap in. And it's hard to do that when there's a lot of excess noise, a lot of the energy's moving in ways that just doesn't serve us, or the mind is creating a lot of thoughts, a lot of attachments to things. So if you're starting to feel that's the case for you, if this is describing you, even if it's not, you may be able to benefit from a little bit more stillness. Let's draw our focus to where the tongue is at in the mouth. Where does it rest right now? If it's at the top of the mouth, release it and let it rest in the bottom of the mouth. And if it's already in the bottom of the mouth, let it stay there. Let go of any control of it and just let it rest on the bottom of the mouth. A little release in the jaw and a slight space in between the teeth. And as the tongue rests there, saliva will begin to pool around the tongue. Try not to swallow right away. Notice, really draw your focus and awareness to that space. What happens to the rest of the body in those moments? In that 10 to 15 seconds that the tongue is just resting at the bottom. Hopefully begin to feel a calm or a peace just come over the entire body. So that technique helped us dip more into our parasympathetic nervous system. Once we started to let go of the fight, flight, or freeze, even how minor, we're able to draw ourselves in more. letting go of that instinct of I gotta keep moving, I've gotta protect myself, to knowing that you are protected right now in this moment. And so let's take a couple of breaths here, slowly and gently, just to scan the body from the head all the way down to the toes. What are you noticing? What are you noticing physically, mentally, and emotionally? As you reach the hips, take a moment to pause there and just focus on the left side of the body. What do you notice about the left side of the body? And then from there, just gently, very gently and slowly draw your focus over to the right side of the body, not bringing anything from the left side over, just noticing the right side. Do the two sides feel balanced? Are there imbalances between them? Maybe there's an imbalance you're feeling in the hips. Maybe the left ribs feel a little bit lighter, while the right ribs feel a little bit heavier, or there's more space in between the ribs on one side versus the other. So notice and observe. And in that same observation, how is the energy flowing through each side of the body? And then as you're ready, continuing the full observation, starting from the hips all the way down to the toes. Making any last little notes. Again, don't spend too much time on one spot. This is a place without judgment, just observation. Because once we know what's happening, we're able to dive a little bit deeper and start to understand what we need, and also tap into our inner strength. And from here, let's deepen the breath by sealing the lips and coming into our Ujjayi Pranayama, our victorious breath. So we'll start to breathe in deeply through the nose. The breath will be received in through the nose and travel all the way down to the belly, filling up the belly, back in the ribs. And then as you exhale out, you'll exhale out through the nose, using the muscles in the back of the throat to control the slow movement out of the breath. It'll start to sound a little bit like the ocean at the back of the throat. So begin to continue to become familiar with this Ujjayi breath, keeping a slight release in the jaw and a slight gap in between the teeth. This breath will build internal heat. It'll help us find the balance between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic parts of the nervous system. And it's also can be a very calming breath. It can be a breath that helps keep us present. However, at any point, if you find that the breath is doing the opposite of calm, it's doing the opposite of helping us stay in our parasympathetic nervous system, please stop. Maybe even come into a child's pose or savasana. And if it feels right, come back into the breath, into that part of the practice.